Inside the NBA is going to stay broadcast. It's not going to be on Turner anymore. It's going to be ESPN. I haven't read, and ESPN announced it, so it is official. I haven't read the full release. It appears that it's going to stay based out of Atlanta. It's going to be the same production crew. It's going to be basically everyone who currently works on the show staying in place, but it's just going to be licensed to ESPN, and ESPN will broadcast it on their networks.
Yeah.
Which is great news for fans of the show.
Yeah, what I would compare it to, if people are a little bit confused, is if you when Netflix and the TV streaming like wars kind of broke out, you'll remember like shows you used to watch on Netflix were no longer on Netflix. So a show like Friends went to Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers produced it and owned it. But when you watched Friends in the 90s, it was on NBC. It was licensed through NBC, but owned by Warner Brothers. And that isn't really a thing for sports shows, but with this rise of podcasting and simulcast shows, you're starting to see a trend, like a Pat McAfee show. I think ESPN actually owns it outright, but there's reporting out there, and I have people that work at some of these, sportsbook companies where
Big
corporations like ESPN will approach them to see if they can license their shows so their show, you can find it on their YouTube channel like it would be, or on ESPN. And so it's really great for NBA fans because the ESPN studio shows, I hope, are shuttered now. I hope this is the end of...
They're not, though. They're not. They're going to keep NBA Countdown. They're going to keep... I think what I expect this to be is a pregame normal ESPN.
Oh, you're right, because...
Kendrick...
No,
they're gonna have to land this plane safely because they just inked Kendrick Perkins to a big extension. Stephen A. Smith is gonna get fucking Steph Curry money, I'm sure, from that network. RJ is there now. Malika Andrews.
tinfoil hat.
Okay.
Stephen A. hasn't inked his deal yet. Who's the biggest ESPN personality? It's Stephen A. Maybe Stephen A's like, I don't want to come back. I want to go do my own show somewhere else on like an ABC or something, like coming after Kimmel.
Yeah, I could see that.
And then if you don't have Stephen A, why even waste the money on an NBA pre and post game show? You dump it. And now that money goes in this licensing deal, because I'm just thinking of the logistics though, Hen, like TNT's not going to have any basketball games. So if you're licensing that show to do pregame, the schedule is going to be ESPN, I think, gets Wednesday night and Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Maybe a Friday or something. So yeah, maybe it's going to be like two for Turner, like the Turner pre and post game show, one for Countdown. But you don't spend that money to keep Kendrick Perkins happy. Like, I would not be shocked if they keep Countdown for like Friday, kind of like how Turner does that weird, like when it's like Jamal Crawford and crew and it's not the main cast, like something like that. But the Sunday games will be inside the NBA, I imagine. The Tuesday night, which I think they're getting, would be NBC's getting Tuesday. So Wednesday night would be inside the NBA. So I just think we're going to see a lot less of it, and thank God.
And can I add, you know what this means for the first time in God knows how long? We get the inside guys on the NBA Finals. Isn't that going to be great?
Yes.
Isn't that going to be cool? Because I know they've done some stuff like, obviously, like with Turner's coverage and with NBA TV as it's gotten licensed to NBA TV during the finals, but it's not the main broadcast. So people aren't like, you can go and seek that out after the games, but we haven't heard the instant reaction from the Big Four right after an NBA Finals game. I don't know, ever? Like, did they ever have the NBA Finals?
Well, they were there. No, they weren't. No, they weren't. You're right. I think here's the one thing I'll caution. My one hesitation. the biggest issue with the ESPN pre and post game show is how their ad breaks are. The reason that Turner and Inside the NBA has been so successful is Turner buys out the ad space. So you see the guys a lot longer. They talk for two and
Yeah.
a half minutes or 4 minutes or whatever it is. ESPN, it's minute ad, 30-second ad. It's clunky. It's really bad.
It's terrible.
It's like a Dr. Seuss poem right there. So ESPN is going to have to do away with their ad revenue, ad break structure during basketball. And I fear they're not going to, because then they lose profit. And then that would, yeah, you'd get inside, but it wouldn't be inside. It would
Yeah,
be
if they're doing that, I
shorthand.
don't give a shit to keep it. Like you're
And
you're gonna tell me I'm gonna have to see Kenny's pictures in 30 seconds and oh, Applebee's ad now. If
that's
that's it, I don't want it.
that's my concern. So that's the one thing I'll caution folks on. But this is exciting, I think, for fans, and it's exciting because this puts pressure on NBC and Amazon now to really build big, good fucking teams. And I saw somewhere that Amazon wants to make Blake Griffin the centerpiece of their basketball coverage. And I love Blake Griffin. I would not make Blake Griffin the centerpiece of my basketball coverage. So what I think is going to happen is Amazon's going to do a lighter broadcast. ESPN's going to try to copy Turner. NBC is going to do a premium a la Bob Costas type of thing. It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
I think these guys should throw the bag at Kendrick Perkins when ESPN lets him go. I'm kidding. By bag, I mean $10,000 a year.
Yeah, I wonder if Stephen A's out the door, man, and that's why they made this move. I'm just saying.
And listen, we'll go in a second, but Stephen A has been going like a lot of political talk shows, talking politics.
He's
talking
trying to broaden
news.
his audience, dude. Yeah, it's clear.
It really does seem like this might be a guy who is angling for a big network show like a Kimmel or something like that. I could really see that being the case.
I believe that's exactly what he wants. And
because he has a huge ego. He's almost as big as ESPN, the network, is at this point. Mm-hmm. Like, I know he thinks he can do more. You don't get to that level of success without thinking that.
And honestly, like, if he leaves, they probably cut a lot of the talent that he's brought in. Not to get dark for a sec, but like, I don't see Mad Dog sticking around without Stephen A. I don't see Shannon Sharp sticking around without Stephen A. He probably is using that as leverage, but if he's getting big money to be, ABC doesn't have a Seth Meyers or what was James Corden. I don't know what CBS does there anymore. Like, they've always just had Kimmel, and that was kind of it. The Stephen A. Smith show. Could be.
Stephen A. Smith / James Corden. I'm tuning in for that, brother.
It's very, very interesting, and we will have to see how it all shakes out. But inside the NBA, hopefully keeping it as they've always had it.
Yeah. Excited about that.